A lot of people have a diary, just like this one. However, how would you feel if someone stole your diary and therefore all your sensitive information? Not good, right? However, with the growth of the Internet of Things, patients still need to be able to trust into the people who care for them to also safeguard their information. Just like with this diary, MHS, Mountain West Health System, tries to protect their patients' data. However, we will show you the following. The vulnerabilities of healthcare IT systems can be resolved. And we will explain to you how this is possible. But first, let me introduce who we actually is. My name is Fritzi Müller.
My name is Nicholas Lauerman.
My name is Nargiska Bulayeva.
MHS, with its over 20 hospitals, various physician groups, practices, and 200 clinics, is part of a complex ecosystem that consists of first internal actors, but also external actors like the vendors and medical, but also hardware and software providers. This is also where the cybersecurity risks for MHS can be derived from. First, we need a cybersecurity strategy that addresses the needs, fears, and wants of MHS's patients. However, patients want easy to access healthcare, i.e. digital healthcare. However, they are afraid of data breaches and therefore need a health system in which they can trust and that they are confident about. In order to achieve a fit between both MHS, the cost side, and the customers, the revenue side, we suggest an extended zero trust strategy that is a proven option to support digital healthcare. Zero trust implies trust only what you know. So trust is seen as a vulnerability, resolving all of the aforementioned problems.
Let's recall the overarching goal of our strategy: to reduce the vulnerability of MHS's IT system. At MHS, nothing is more important than the safety of the patient, and I will address the hardware aspect of that. There are many new, exciting technologies with a lot of potential, but there's a problem with many of them. This is Gartner's Hype Cycle. Basically, on the left side of it, it shows technologies that are less mature and tested, while on the right side, it shows technologies that are more mature and have been more frequently tested. One of the technologies we looked at but decided not to pursue was blockchain for cybersecurity, which is about here on the Gartner Hype Cycle. This shows that this technology is not mature, and Gartner estimates that it would take at least another 5 to 10 years to get to that point. After assessing the trade-off between feasibility and innovation, we decided that RFID technology would be the best option for reducing the amount of gray market and counterfeit products in MHS's supply chain. This is around where RFID would be on the Gartner Hype Cycle, showing that it has been heavily tested and would be easier to implement. There are many other industries that have had success in this area, and we decided to team up with Vizinex RFID to ease the implementation process, since they have previously had success in this industry.
Nicholas' suggestion was hardware component of our strategy, but we also need to focus on company software strategy. So looking at the alternatives, we have two options: manual and private cloud. The world's largest ATM company, called Cardtronics, has proven that private cloud makes supply chain less vulnerable than flash stick update. We studied financial industry because, like health industry, it contains much sensitive information. At the same time, it's targeted by cyber attacks. With the cloud approach, the data is more accessible. At the same time, data is automatically synchronized, so there is no lost work. Its remote wipe capability allows you to remove information while in the case of breaches. So at the end, it leads to better customer experience. But however, we have some limitations. To set an example, a company needs to overhaul their infrastructure, which at the end leads to additional costs. So in order to avoid these limitations, we suggest to have partnership with Microsoft Healthcare, which has private cloud platform called Azure API. So you can do here health recording. At the same time, Microsoft Healthcare offers the avoidance of fake updates. Firstly, it never sends new emails regarding updates. Secondly, you need to visit the website of the company in order to do these updates. Last but not least, it allows you to do automatic updates. At the same time, it provides you with antivirus, which is called Microsoft Security Essentials.
Our first two suggestions cover the hardware part with RFID and the software part by implementing private cloud. However, with our third idea, we try to integrate a strategy into these proposals. An innovative way to solve these problems is a hackathon. Companies like SAP, IBM, and Dell apply this kind of tool successfully in order to test new systems before rolling out projects on a big level. For MHS, an internal testing would not be feasible since their IT team is not as well developed as, for example, Google's. Thus, we recommend a student hackathon. Since the improvement of RFID and the private cloud implementation should be confirmed, Microsoft Healthcare for the private cloud solution and Vycinex for the RFID suggestion should be targeted as partners. During the hackathon, we first would have a pre-selection, which is a hurdle for the students. That way we make sure that only a few people come to our two-day hackathon. In order to integrate these, all of our suggestions, we're thinking about three spectrums of the hackathon. So first, we would cover the hardware applications with an RFID testing. The second part is testing the software by making them aware and applying the private cloud. And in the third, we want them to, the third spectrum students can apply for is more process related and therefore related to the strategy, like for example suggesting new data access policies, new supplier selection criteria.
Now that we've integrated our three suggestions into a cohesive approach, how do we implement the zero trust strategy now? With regard to simple change management, we suggest applying Kotter's 8-step model. At a high level, this means first, creating a climate for change. Second, engaging and enabling the whole organization. And lastly, implementing as well as sustaining the change. We'd combine this approach with the IT rollout suggested by Google and proceeding in waves.
This includes first, the core IT adoption. After a briefing of the employees about the cyber initiative in this second part and first part of the change management process, different hospitals, clinics, and practices will implement either the RFID or a private cloud. After obtaining and testing the new information gathered, the second wave here can be implemented. The combination of RFID, a private cloud, and the zero trust strategy are then tested within the whole region. If nothing goes wrong, we expect the third wave after 5 years, really rolling out the whole project all over MHS.
What impact does the extended zero trust strategy have on the supply chain of MHS? When it comes to resources, it's important to mention that an extension of IT department and cybersecurity experts need to take place. Supply chain-wise, it's important to reduce both internal and external interfaces.
Having introduced our suggestions, let me ask you the same question from the beginning again. How would you react if somebody would steal your diary? This wouldn't feel good, right? You don't want to share these sensitive and private information. Like with this diary, we would not like our health information to be stolen. Our extended zero trust strategy has shown how to remedy the following threats. First, internal threats. Second, breaches by vendors. And third, hard as well as software vulnerabilities. To sum it up, the vulnerability of a healthcare IT system can be reduced.